The Stoic practice of drawing ears, finding order in complexity. My fellow artists and seekers of wisdom, today we turn our attention to a task that may seem small, even mundane, the act of drawing the human ear. At first glance, the ear appears to be a humble, inconspicuous part of the body, easily overlooked. But as we begin to draw, we quickly realize that this simple structure hides an astonishing complexity. The curves, ridges, and folds of the ear offer a unique challenge to the artist, one that requires patience, attention to detail, and a willingness to embrace imperfection. Let us approach this task with the mindset of a Stoic. For as Epictetus teaches, difficulties are things that show a person's true character. Drawing the ear, like any challenge in life, is an opportunity to practice our virtues, patience, discipline, and above all, acceptance of what is within our control and what is not. First, consider the ear as a natural form. It is not symmetrical, not perfectly orderly, yet it serves its function with remarkable efficiency. The ear is a receiver of sound, an instrument of perception, and in many ways, it reflects the Stoic principle of being open to the world. Just as the ear receives sound without judgment, without preference, so too must we approach our art and our lives. We must accept what comes to us, not with frustration, but with calmness and clarity. As you prepare to draw, pause for a moment. Reflect on the words of Marcus Aurelius. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The complexity of the ear, its labyrinth of folds, its subtlety of form, may seem like an obstacle. But this very complexity is what will teach us to see more deeply, to draw more carefully, to engage more fully in the present moment. The challenge itself is the way forward. Now begin by observing the ear in its entirety. Before any lines are drawn, take the time to study its shape. The Stoic philosopher Seneca teaches us that nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart. And so, let us be grateful for the opportunity to observe. In this simple act of observation, we practice mindfulness. We are not rushing to capture the ear's form, but instead, we are taking the time to understand it. Look at the way the outer edge, the helix, curves gently inward. Notice the smaller structures within, the antihelix, the tragus, the concha. Each of these parts plays its role in creating the whole, just as every small moment in life contributes to the greater narrative. As you begin to draw, let your lines be purposeful. Do not worry about perfection, worry about intention. Epictetus reminds us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Before each stroke, decide what it is you are trying to capture. The shape, the depth, the light and shadow that play across the ear's surface. Each line should be drawn with care, but not with the anxiety of trying to get it right. In drawing, as in life, there are no perfect outcomes. There are only perfect efforts. The Stoic understands that we do not control the results of our actions, but we do control the effort we put into them. And so, as your pencil moves across the page, focus not on whether the ear is looking exactly as you want it to, but on the quality of your attention and effort. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, Marcus Aurelius tells us. Your drawing is an external event. Your focus, your discipline, is within your control. As the form of the ear begins to take shape, you will notice that the ear is not merely a collection of lines. It is a structure of depth, with light and shadow giving it dimension. The Stoic sees this interplay of light and shadow as a metaphor for life itself. In every experience, there is both light and darkness, joy and hardship, success and failure. These contrasts are not to be feared but embraced, for without darkness, light has no meaning. Without failure, success has no value. As you shade the ear, remember this balance. Let the shadows give form to the light, just as the challenges in life give meaning to our triumphs. Mistakes will happen in your drawing. A line will go astray, or a shadow may appear. But remember the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A mistake on the page is not a failure. It is an opportunity. You can adjust the line, soften the shadow, or incorporate the mistake into the drawing itself. The Stoic teaches us to adapt, to remain flexible in the face of obstacles. Just as in life, we cannot control everything in our drawing, but we can control how we respond to those moments of imperfection. As you move deeper into the drawing, you may begin to feel frustration. The ear's intricate curves and folds may not come together as smoothly as you had hoped. But this is the moment when Stoic discipline becomes essential. Seneca reminds us that to bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Frustration is not an enemy to be conquered, but a teacher to be understood. It shows us where we need to slow down, where we need to refocus. In the face of frustration, breathe deeply. Continue your work, knowing that growth comes not from ease, but from effort. Now, as your drawing nears completion, step back and take a moment to observe it. The ear you have drawn may not be perfect. It may not resemble exactly what you had in mind. But as Stoics, we know that the value is not in the perfection of the result, but in the process itself. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up, if thou wilt ever dig." The goodness lies not in the finished drawing, but in the act of creation, in the time you spent focused, mindful, and engaged. Remember, too, that the ear you have drawn is a small part of a greater whole. Just as the ear is one part of the human body, so too is this drawing one step in your artistic journey. The Stoic understands that no single moment defines us. It is the accumulation of our actions, our efforts, and our mindset over time that shapes who we are. Each drawing, each line, each challenge is a part of that journey. As you finish your work, reflect on what you have learned, not just about drawing ears, but about yourself. The Stoic artist knows that the practice of art is not separate from the practice of life. In both, we seek to cultivate patience, perseverance, and the wisdom to know what is within our control. This speech integrates Stoic principles into the act of drawing ears, highlighting the importance of patience, discipline, and embracing imperfections. By framing the task as an opportunity to practice virtue, the speech connects the technical challenges of art with the deeper, philosophical insights of Stoicism. Like, share, and subscribe to the Hildebrand Lifestyle channel for more updates.